Alright, so this is gonna be my top 10 worst SpongeBob endings of all time. Pie Guy Rules said he was gonna do this years ago, but he retired, so I'm just gonna do it because I think it would be funny. And for number 10, let's just get all this out of the way so we can make the list interesting. We're gonna do all the Squidward torture porn endings that suck. Like, Good Neighbors is the one that comes to mind, The Thing, Squidward, um, all the Squidward torture porns where Squidward just loses at the end. Also, I would put those in the. Those are probably the worst, but for the sake of argument, I'm just gonna put all the Squidward torture porns at the beginning. Just these are the worst endings in the show, but they're the least interesting to talk about because it's the same thing over and over again. So I'm just gonna put them all in this one entry. So for number 10, we got the Squidward torture porn endings. I'll pick Good Neighbors because it was the first really bad one. All right, number 9, we got Shanghai. This one has 3 endings, and all of them piss me off because it leaves. I suppose they leave I guess the SpongeBob, not the SpongeBob, excuse me, Squidward and Patrick endings do leave the problem resolved, but it's a bad ending, and I don't like that. And the SpongeBob ending is just a gag where they end up chasing each other around forever on the top of the ship, which is technically the good ending. I like to have my plots resolved instead of ending on a shitty joke. And I know it's like, some people might find the jokes funny. They're okay. I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather just have them get home happy and safe. I don't know why. I just always do. So I'd rather have a resolved ending than anything else. Even if I mean, if the gag is funny enough, that's fine. But I'd just rather have the ending resolved because this is kind of a serious. I mean, I guess it isn't really that serious of an episode, but it's a serious. It's an intimidating setting, and you hate to see it end that way. Slimy dancing. This one has a very annoying ear rape ending. They just scream, and it's really annoying. That's all I have to say. Next, we have Wigstruck. This one sucks. SpongeBob finally lets go of his wig, and all the idiot, worthless NPC fish faggots all start wearing wigs just to piss him off. And I know that's the point, but I don't care. I fucking hate it. Fuck those stupid gay-ass fish. Next, we got Model Sponge. This one's just disgusting. I mean, it is really repulsive and gross. I don't know how people tolerate this one, frankly. I can't stand it. It's just repugnant. I don't even want to mention what happens. It's just filthy. Now we got Squirrel Record. This is just annoying because it's like she beats every record in the book, but it turns out the book was out of date, and it's just we literally just wasted our time, like our time. That's great. You know what? It'd be a lot better if we didn't waste our time. All right, Dear Vikings, this is the episode that actually made me stop watching SpongeBob as a kid. This made me realize that the show just kind of went through seasonal rot, and I just stopped watching it. So Nickelodeon basically hyped this one up nonstop. Like this was like hyped up as like a new special. It was like Atlantis Scorpanus or Pest of the West or one of the other SpongeBob season 5 specials, or SpongeBob versus the Big One. And usually those were at least 30 minutes, right? So I assume this would be like a 30-minute special, right? And it would be very entertaining. It was just an 11-minute, like, standard, like, unremarkable episode, and it has such a cock tease of an ending. It's just like SpongeBob plugs up the hole in the Viking ship. Now, it's just abrupt. It's out of nowhere. It is just such a letdown of an ending. The episode itself is whatever. But, like, the fact that it was hyped up this much is actually infuriating. I can't believe that they thought this was acceptable to hype up. And people wouldn't, like, they just cheated their viewers. Because at least if it was long, it would feel special, right? Pause. But you know what I mean. It would at least feel, it would feel worth it. Because say what you want about Atlantis Scorpanus or all the other specials, at least they had an epic feel to them. At least they told an extended story. This was just a complete cock tease and a lie. Gone. I actually really liked this episode because I have good memories watching it as a kid. And it was very intense. I don't know what to say because when I was a kid, I watched it alone in the dark upstairs when it aired, brand new, and it was like an experience. Like it was very interesting. It's a fascinating episode to me. I don't know. The title card too, I remember that. But that ending is very character damaging. It is a very shitty ending. I didn't even think about it at the time as a kid because I could barely follow the plot. But it was just interesting to see SpongeBob with nobody around. I was just sort of happy to see everybody at the end and it be resolved. But, in retrospect, it's a horrible ending. Very rude. It's just very terrible that everybody, hates SpongeBob and they wanted to get away from him. It's just wrong. I really don't like that ending. Nautical Novice is very interesting because it has the best ending of the show and also the worst ending of the show. Because, well, one of them. There's one coming up that tops it. But basically, the ending is probably one of the best action scenes of all of SpongeBob. It's intense. It's well choreographed. It's the dialogue is awesome. It's just a great scene, and it's a highlight of the entire season. But the stupid plot twist that he wasn't actually controlling the ship is just so stupid. I was hoping SpongeBob would get his license on that episode as a kid. And I know it's like, oh, Hillenburg said never let him get his license, but it's just... Honestly, this episode could have been hyped up as a special where SpongeBob gets his license. And if he got his license at the end, no one would be mad. I think people would praise this episode if it was hyped up as a special. And it actually feels epic. But again, the stupid gay bait and switch. Just such a complete tease. Alright, for the worst ending in SpongeBob history, we have Spongehenge. This episode, I hate this episode, but the ending is so bad. SpongeBob apparently was stuck in the cave for so long, the entire civilization of Bikini Bottom is buried under sand. And then there's these creepy aliens that visit SpongeBob's monument. It's horrible. This is a terrible ending. It's not a funny terrible either. This is just horrifically bad. I don't think there is a... This might be the worst cartoon ending, period. It is atrociously bad. I don't know why they would let... I feel like they just wanted to torture kids with this one, to be honest. Like, what the hell were they... Why? Why would they ever think this was a good idea to end this special this way? Not even special. It's nothing special. It's just a piece of shit episode that blows balls. It's garbage. This episode strokes cocks while blowing the balls. It is fucking trash. I have a lot of good memories from Season 5 and Season 6. But some of these episodes are just unbelievably bad. Man. So I'll always love Season 5, but like... Damn, this episode sucks.